And good morning. I'm going to begin today by apologizing and owning a mistake that I made in a few videos earlier in the week. I actually corrected it in sort of a postscript in yesterday's video. Not that I spoke it, I actually put it in as not a caption, but a credit thing. I put it in the credit aspect of creating a video. Anyway, I indicated in some of the earlier videos that in this 10th wave, the odd days would be days, the odd calendar days would be days, and the even ones would be nights. Of course, this is in reference to the fact that the waves, or the days and the nights, there's 13 days and nights in each wave. There's 7 days and 6 nights. What I failed to account for was the fact that there were 2 odd days in a row during this wave, the 31st of October and the 1st of November, which means that yesterday was actually the 5th night and today is the 6th day. So I wanted to clarify that, and I do thank my friend Aristo in Greece for pointing that out to me. In fact, I think there were a couple of other people that also brought it to my attention. I'm surprised I didn't catch it earlier because I made the mistake at least 2 or 3 times. I want one more sort of announcement. Yesterday I was introduced to a young lady in Canada who makes videos sometimes more than one a day. Apparently I watched about 4 or 5 of them, of her videos so far. I mean, she's just a bright shining light. I heard her say her name a few times in some of the videos, but I didn't write it down and I didn't memorize it. But her YouTube channel is Miracle of Mind. Just all one word, Miracle of Mind. And she's a young lady from Canada and just a tremendous light shining brightly. One of many. And I encourage you, I checked a little bit earlier on her subscribers, and I noticed several of my friends subscribed. She's not getting a lot of hits, but she deserves a lot of hits because her message is upbeat and encouraging, very inspirational. She bases a lot of what she shares on the Course in Miracles, so if that resonates with you, I encourage you to listen because as I said, it's very uplifting. But that's all by way of introduction. Today's title is 10th Wave, the Invisible 99%. I'm convinced that the 99% has been mostly invisible and silent for a long time. That is changing in more ways than one as the Occupy movement sweeps the globe. What is happening beyond the obvious political implications is that the unconscious is being made conscious, and the invisible is being made visible. This is true both on the individual and the collective level. The 1%, seeing its reality threatened, trembles as the 99% wakes up. The 1% is the ego, or the usurper, and the 99% is the self, the creator of all that is. When that 1% finally surrenders to the greater wholeness, we will have peace within ourselves and upon the earth. Indeed, this can be a peaceful conquest if we choose it to be. Whew. Yes, I've been to a General Assembly meeting in 2 different Occupy groups in the past 2 days, one last night and one Sunday afternoon. And last night especially, there was very strong differences of opinion being expressed over certain issues, and I don't need to even go into those issues because this is part of our ego still trying to hold on to whatever our point of view is. And I like one of the definitions of ego that I like a lot is simply our present point of view. And we have the tendency as humans, when we're not very conscious, to think that our present point of view is right. It's obvious, and many of us will defend that point of view against anybody that disagrees with it. And we see that in some of the dialogue on my videos, and I'm sure it happens across the spectrum. It happens, as I said, in the General Assembly meeting last night in the Occupy Melbourne group. But what's happening on the global scale is that, as I said, people are beginning to awaken from sleep. Those of us that have been invisible and silent are starting to get our voice back. We're starting to be willing to stand in our power. Not a lot of people yet. It's not the majority. But it is an awakening, and it is growing exponentially. Even a lot of the people that haven't officially joined the Occupy movement are going to be swept up in this, because it is a mass event. It is a cosmic event that cannot be stopped. There are people that have said that it's being organized by the 1%. And there are indications that the 1% is trying to make an impact on it. But it won't work. I've said that before, and I believe it's the obvious truth, and it will be obvious more and more as the days continue. Things are accelerating beyond what most people can even comprehend, because even on the political scene, there are things that are happening that are not in any news media virtually, or at most alternative news media and very limited coverage. The angelic realm, or the extraterrestrial realm, is more engaged, I'm convinced, than ever before in human history. They are casting their vote with the people that are waking up, because this is part of the cosmic intent, or the divine intent, to awaken humanity and give humanity an opportunity to see things that have been hidden, to hear things that haven't been heard before, to weigh in our consciousness what is before us and what needs to be rationally grasped and embraced with our hearts. I know a lot of people are still shaken as they see these events unfolding. Not only the people that have been in power, whom I referred to in my blurb as the usurpers, the elite establishment, if you will, the bankers, the corporate CEOs, the heads of state, and the people that have played this role as the 1%. They are simply representative of the human ego that has also usurped our peace, usurped control, tried to pretend like it had control, although the ego never really has control until it surrenders, and then it's not control. It lives in peace. And as I said, this conquest of the light shining into the darkness can be very peaceful if we simply accept it and go along with the ride. But there's people that won't do that. There's people in government that won't do that. There are people in religion that won't do that. They think that going for the ride is evil because they believe that evil is God. If they didn't believe that evil was God, they'd be able to simply surrender and recognize that it's all good. But some can't do that. They're so locked in their ways that they just simply cannot let go. They cannot release the old paradigm and embrace this newness that was promised to us by Jesus himself in Revelation when he said, "Behold, I make all things new." Or God himself, because it says, "He that sat on the throne said, Behold, I make all things new." These things are, this saying is faithful and true. This is the time, this is the day, this is the hour that this is being accomplished. And it's being accomplished, as I said, individually, as each person faces his or her own shadow, the things that they've hidden from themselves, the things that they haven't been willing to look at. Holy Moses. Wow, I'm going to blow the candle out. It developed a leak and the wax is running down onto the table, and I don't want to have to clean up too much wax. It's not too bad right now, but if I left it burn till I finish this video, it would have not been very good at all, and I don't want that. So anyway, I blew out the candle, but you know, I was able to blow out a candle. But I want you to understand something. There's a candle burning in each one of us, and it's a candle of consciousness, and nobody's going to be able to blow that out. No Illuminati, not even our own ego. Now, individually, on an individual level, if we dig our heels in and say, I want my old viewpoint to continue. I like the old paradigm. I like what I believe. It works for me, and I want to keep on believing it, and I'm not going to go along with the ride of this new wave of energy that is sweeping the earth. I believe it's not a good thing, and I don't like it, and I don't want it, and I'm going to remain adamant and steadfast in my convictions and in my belief system. Be my guest. You're welcome to do that. But collectively, that's not going to be the winning hand. That's not going to be where it goes. We are being swept up into something far greater. The 99% is going to take more and more and more responsibility. We're going to be speaking louder and louder till virtually everyone hears what we are saying. We're not going to succumb anymore and consent anymore to the corruption, the fraud, the violence, and everything that has robbed us of having fulfilled lives. We're going to recognize that we did it to ourselves, ultimately. That may take a while for some people, but the voice is being heard, and it will not be silenced. The flame will not be blown out, as I did just a couple minutes ago. It cannot be blown out, because it's an eternal flame. And even though it had been reduced to a mere ember, it is now bursting forth, and it will become a mighty conflagration. That's always a tongue-twisting word for me to say. And the fire that will destroy the old world is a fire of consciousness, not a literal fire. In fact, most scriptures are not literal. They're metaphysical. They deal with thoughts and ideas and beliefs and principles. They are manifest literally when that's the only way spirit can get our attention. The cosmic 2x4 that hits us on the side of the head and says, will you please wake up? And sometimes that's what it takes for some people. And that may be what it's taking right now for humanity. But the invisible 99% isn't invisible anymore. The silent 99% isn't silent anymore. It's speaking in you, and it's speaking in our world. and it's revealing everything that we need to know to liberate us and to set us free, free at last, because that is the will of God for every one of us, beyond our religions, beyond our politics, beyond our financial leanings and understandings, beyond everything that our ego that has usurped our lives has insisted is the truth. Beyond all of that, we're coming in to the kingdom of heaven on earth, and there's nothing that can stop it. I thank you for listening as I share my thoughts with you again today, and I want you to know that I really appreciate especially those of you who not only listen every day but share my videos with your friends and encourage others to listen too. I realize that some of my videos are more inspirational than others. I get that. I realize that some of my videos will resonate more with some people than with other people, and that's all okay. But I really do appreciate every one of you, and I want you to know that I love you. Thank you for listening. Namaste.